Hi, Foxy Stars, your girl Foxy, and I'm back with Choosing Joy. So we are on the last 4 chapters of this book. This book has been so great. So comment below if you enjoyed this book, and I hope it has helped you as much as it helped me. And I really enjoy reading it to you guys, So I'm Foxy Stars, you know who I am. Thank you for all the positive comments, and all to my new subscribers. I really thank you guys for subscribing. And let's pop right into it. Now, this chapter is directing your thought train, take control of your inner critic. I discovered that when I believed my thoughts, I suffer, but that's when I didn't believe them. I didn't suffer, and that this is true for every human being. Freedom is as simple as that. Brian Katie said that. We all climbed aboard our runway through train headed towards self-criticism, self-doubt, fear, inadequacies, and anxiety. As our train of thought rides through the dark tunnels of our mind, racing out of control, we can feel like a helpless passenger trapped on an unwanted trip. But it doesn't have to be this way. When we cultivate the awareness to view ourselves as the controller of our thought train and not as passenger, we realize we can choose to redirect our thoughts when they go off track. Of course, separating ourselves from the voice and thoughts in our head and takes practice and patience. You are not the voice in your head. Your inner narrator, the voice that provides a running commentary on your life, whisper worries, dishes out self-criticism, is not you. You are the observer of your voice and are distantly different from it. There is a distance between you and your voice that enables you to separate the two and take better control. One of the most effective ways to achieve this is by integrating mindfulness practices into your daily routine. The goal of mindfulness is not to silence the mind, but to cultivate your role as the observer. As you observe your thoughts, you gradually create distance between you and your voice, enabling you to notice passing thoughts without judgment or engagement. Assuming the role of the observer allows us to stop an unhelpful thought in its tracks before it arrives at self-criticism or self-doubt. Daily delights. You can try practices now by noticing the thoughts that come into your head. As thoughts drift into your consciousness, rather than engaging them in a conversation, label the thoughts as thinking or feeling. For example, if you initiate thought is, I feel silly doing this, you will label it as feeling. Or if it's, I wonder if I am doing this right, you will label it as thinking. Try setting a timer on your phone for 1 minute to complete this short exercise. Notice as you label your thoughts how you begin to see that you are the observer of the voice and that the voice in your head is not you. You can always take time to notice how labeling helps stop the thought in its tracks and prevent it from going any further. Inner voice and happiness. The relationship we have with our inner voice is complex and often secretive. Inside our voice may be criticizing us or fueling thoughts of anxiety, but outside we can easily conceal it torturous tone with a fake smile or laugh. Our inner world, made of our thoughts and feelings, may not be visible to others, but it's places where we spend most of our time. And if we want to make it a happy place to live in, then we need to ensure we gain better control of the inhabitants we share it with, especially our inner voice. Studies have shown that our relationship with our inner voice can serve to increase or decrease our happiness level. Having a more self-compassionate voice can help improve our psychological well-being. According to research, a critical inner voice can reduce motivation, productivity, while increasing symptoms of depression. Understanding our ability to choose more empowering words and reaching for more useful thoughts can put us back in control and help us build a happier inner world in which we are content to spend our time. Our inner world, made up of our thoughts and feelings, may not be visible to others, but it's a place where we spend most of our time. That's a highlight. Exercise, guys. We know, she loved to give us some exercises. So this exercise is called Developing a Compassionate Inner Voice. We are capable of controlling, redirecting, and changing our inner voice conveys our thoughts. Here are 3 tips to help you gain better control over your inner voice. Mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness can help you exert greater control over your thoughts. If you are new to mindfulness, try experimenting with apps such as Calm or Insight Timer. Be your own friend. When you feel self-critical, talk to yourself if you would a best friend. Encourage yourself and remind yourself that you are doing the best you can. Use I am phrases. Using I am is a quick and powerful way to reach more useful and empowering thoughts. I love using these before I give a speech. I am confident, or at the gym, I am healthy. The use of I am is a quick and easy way to change where our energy and attention are flowing. Some good thoughts, good exercises. So see what you do with them, Foxxie stars. Boundaries that make life boundless. You have to be able to set boundaries, otherwise the rest of the world is telling you who you are and what you should be doing. You can still be a nice person and set boundaries. Oprah Winfrey said that. Imagine your daily energy as an invisible bucket of water that you carry in your hands. On some mornings you wake up to a full bucket, and on other mornings there's barely enough to fill a cup. As you and your invisible bucket journey through the day, you meet people and engage in activities that either take water out of the bucket or fill it back up. This energy exchange between people and activities that can either diminish or renew our energy requires careful management. Setting boundaries is an essential part of keeping your bucket as full as possible so you can use your energy to work towards what matters most to you. Ooh, I think I'm going to like this one. Saying no. For some readers, saying no may come easily. For others, the thought of uttering the simple word no can evoke feelings of anxiety and guilt. I'm certainly no stranger to the flood of people pleasing panic when someone asks me to do something that I don't want to or feel able to do. I've said yes when I meant no far too frequently, out of fear that saying no will anger anyone or lower their opinion on me. However, I come to understand that saying no when your intentions are good can be a loving and compassionate act towards yourself and others. It begins with considering if anyone really benefited from my need to please. Was it really enjoyable for the other person to watch a movie, eat a meal, work on that project with someone who didn't want to be there? Was it really nice to feel frustrated and resentful because you were always there for others? As author and researcher Brené Brown said, clear is unkind. Unclear is unkind. I think I read that back. I'm going to read it again. Clear is kind. Unclear is unkind. Saying yes when we mean no is unclear and unkind, not only to ourselves, but other people who will quickly drain our bucket. Being clear on our boundaries and being honest with ourselves and others about how we feel is an act of authenticity and love. It's through those saying no that we create space for the other person to find someone who wants to participate in what's being asked of them. This also allows us to protect our energy and time, ensuring that we invest in what matters most in our lives. Sometimes this can mean we have to establish significantly uncomfortable boundaries in friendship, families, relationships, and work. If you're in the process of constructing these firm boundaries, I appreciate that it can be a stressful, emotional whirlwind. Just remember, although sometimes it's helpful to gain the opinions of others, trust your gut. Follow your inner intuition. After all, these are your boundaries, and often there is no right answer, just the answer that feels right for you now. Science of Blitz. Research from the University of California in San Francisco shows that people who have greater difficulty saying no increase their likelihood of experiencing burnout, stress, and depression. By learning how to say no and set healthy boundaries, we can minimize our experience of negative emotions and cultivate happiness. Happy tip. When saying no, use I don't instead of I can't. Research shows that the use of I can't implies that our resisting temptation and decision could be for a debate compared with people that say they use I don't. So instead of saying I can't do after work drinks during the week, say I don't drink during this week. Don't drink during the week. I'm going to try that one. Good luck, Foxxie Stars, with that one. Okay. Exercise. Mastering saying no. Saying no can be challenging but essential skill. Here are my top 3 tips to help master the art of no. Number 1. Prepare a phrase. When you are asked to do something that you don't want to and aren't able to commit to, it's easy to panic and say yes. However, having a phrase already prepared can help. For example, you can say, I think it's going to be a no for now, but I'll let you know if anything changes, or thanks for asking, but I can't. And you insert what they ask for. I hope you find someone who can help you out with that. Protect your time. It's hard to say no when you haven't intentionally blocked out how you will want to use your time. By clearly planning when you're going to exercise, work, and catch up with friends, it makes it harder for other people's priorities to nudge their way into your calendar. Value your integrity. And you don't want to go out to dinner or volunteer for the extra project at work, it's okay to say no. After all, it's better to say no and be yourself than to say yes and pretend to be someone you aren't. Woo! I have no problem saying no. The courtesy cure. The curiosity cure. Sorry. Curiosity only does one thing, and that is to give. And what it gives you are clues on an incredible scavenger hunt of your life. Elizabeth Gilbert said that. Overthinking poses a real threat to our ability to be in the present moment. As our minds sink into obsessing over what we should or shouldn't do, they send our thoughts dashing between the future and the past looking for answer. This creates a messy, tangled web of thoughts, and along with a heavy self-inflicted pressure for us to make the right choice or do the right thing. It consumes our attention. As a result, we struggle to focus on the present moment as our minds tend to obsess about finding the perfect answer. While it's wise to give deep thoughts to our decisions, we should also be mindful not to mislead ourselves to believe that life is a problem that can be solved solely in our heads. After all, even our most intricately woven plans and careful thoughts through intentions can come undone in the tangle of tapestry of life. Overthinking our decisions can leave us standing on the sidelines of life. Our fear of making wrong decisions can lead us to overanalyze and over-invite other people's opinions into the process. Too much information can overwhelm us, leading to decisions fatigue and procrastination. It can feel more comfortable to give up before we even started. Curiosity, on the other hand, playfully nudges us forwards, urging us to experiment. It whispers, I wonder how it would feel if you did that. Curiosity is different from being impulsive. Curiosity doesn't dive right into the deep end. Instead, it dips a toe in the water, see how it feels, then makes an informed decision about what to do next. Its slow, steady, and experimental approach opens up new perspective, broadens our horizons, and replaces the heavy burden of getting it right. I'm just curious to see what happens when we choose curiosity. We open ourselves up to the present moment and nurture a more profound connection with our own intuition and the wider world. Happiness and curiosity. Curiosity can ignite a love affair with life, and studies have found that people who cultivate curiosity have a higher level of life satisfaction. When we are in a state of curiosity, our brains can retain more information, generate alternatives, and boost our creativity, all vital and helpful qualities for making choices. Furthermore, curiosity connects us to valuable feedback on how we feel about the certain actions we're taking, which enable us to experiment more with life. Curiosity's playful approach can help erode our fear of failure and teach us how to fully engage in the feeling of what it means to be alive. Psychologists have demonstrated that people who are more curious have more meaningful lives, suggesting that curiosity is a choice that moves us toward a deeper sense of purpose. Daily delights. When we feel trapped in overthinking, it can be helpful to remind ourselves that life is not a test or a box-ticked exercise. Instead, it's one big, exciting, and at times scary experiment which you'll co-create your reality with the unpredictable external world. The best lab partner you can have to assist you in this experiment is curiosity. Exercise, cultivating curiosity. Try applying these 3 simple steps to cultivate more curiosity in your life. Number 1, ask questions. Curiosity questions help us generate possibilities, creative solutions, and ideas. If you feel weighted down by a decision in the present moment, try sparking your curiosity by asking, what if? I wonder what would happen if. How might I? If anything was possible right now, what would I do? If I couldn't fail, what action would I take? What small steps could I take that would give me feedback on how I feel about this? Number 2, listen to feedback. Asking questions yourself or others is a powerful way to feed your curiosity, but only if you listen to the feedback. If you're curious about learning how someone achieved a goal you want, listen to their answers. Notice the patterns or common things that emerge and listen to your own inner guidance. Act. Taking action is critical for curiosity. Try different approaches. Try a small step every day towards what matters most, and curiosity will scatter a breadcrumb trail towards ideas, opportunities, and people and your passions. Invest in connections. To love all is to be valuable. C.S. Lewis said that. Happiness is letting go of who we think we should be and being seen for who we are. Read that again. Happiness is letting go of who we think we should be and being seen for who we are. This is challenging when we live in a society where the questions following, what's your name? What do you do for a living? We grow up learning to show people all our shiny surface level accomplishments and conceal the beautiful messy patterns that lie beneath. But it's exhausting when relationships feel more like a job interview than real connections. Our resistance and apprehension to be ourselves prevents us from cultivating deep, meaningful human connections. Research suggests that a lack of connection can make us unhappy. Taking time to develop mindfulness relationships in the present can offer a sanctuary for us to drop the mask, laugh, share, cry, and grow without feeling judged. What's more, making this investment is likely to give us high returns on our happiness and health. The connection paradox. There's paradox emerging in our technological world. We're both more connected and more disconnected than ever. According to a recent survey, more than 3 in 5 Americans are lonely, with a rising number reporting that they felt left out and misunderstood. The survey also revealed a sobering relationship between social media and loneliness, finding that 73% of very heavy social media users consider themselves lonely compared with 52% of light users. The study also found that 18 and 22-year-olds had the highest average of loneliness score. Psychologist Julian Hutt Lundstad, a professor at Brigham Young University, urges us to recognize that when it comes to feeling isolated, no one is immune. That said, the research points to connection as a remedy to heal our loneliness and ease the pain of feeling misunderstood. Connections nourishes both the body and the mind. Studies show that people who have strong ties live longer, have fewer health issues, and are genuinely happy. Science of Blitz. Perhaps the most compelling evidence for making this investment comes from the world's largest study on happiness, conducted by Harvard. The study that spanned almost 8 years concluded that close relationships more than money or fame are what keep people happy throughout their lives. Authentic connection and happiness. Part of choosing to be happy in the present is choosing to cultivate genuine, valuable relationships where we feel safe to drop the mask, share our mask, and speak the truth. There's an extensive body of research that shows that investing in our connections really pays off. While sharing the messy moments, irrational thoughts, embarrassing moments in life can feel daunting, a study by researchers at the University of Mayhem found that it's actually a quality we admire in others. The researchers wrote that showing vulnerability might sometimes feel more like a weakness from inside, but to others these acts might look more like courage from the outside. Through cultivating authentic connections, we have the strength to be valuable. We set ourselves free from the expectation that life should be perfect and embrace our humanity for the beautiful mess it is. We have another exercise, growing your connection. We'll all be on different scales of the connection spectrum, and our circumstances will be unique. However, to start the process, read the points below to grow your connection at the stage most relevant to you. Plant. Making new connections as an adult can be a challenge, but we can take small steps to plant the seed of friendship. A good starting point is to use sites like meetup.com or go to a local classes, gyms, or clubs to connect with like-minded groups of people. Remember to tune in to how you feel around a new person. Pay attention to whether it feels natural, whether you feel like you can be yourself, or how you feel after spending time with the person. Nature. It's easy to be our busy life to take over and have us paying less attention to the existing friendship we have. Think about how you can nurture. Oh, it's nurture. Talking about nature. Sorry, Foxxie saw it's nurture. I better clean these glasses off. Okay. Ooh. Think about how you can nurture existing friendships more. It can be useful to make meeting up a ritual. Perhaps on a payday, dinner date each month, or movie Mondays. Creating a ritual can take the hassle out of comparing diaries and develop a close bond through a shared experience. Grow. Strong connection can offer a safe place for us to share and grow. It can be useful to think about how you can encourage a bit more vulnerability with your friends. Also notice if you are facing some similar challenges and reflect on how you might be able to grow together. Play allows all of our whirling impulses and words to dissolve. Our sense of self disappears, and we melt into unity with the present moment. Use play as a blissful retreat from the game of life and a return to childlike wonders. 5 ways to savor the present. All right, guys. Number 1, practice gratitude. Our disappointment in the present moment is often caused when our expectations don't match reality. Practicing gratitude can help ground us and stop our thoughts from snowballing out of control. It's easy to scoff at gratitude for being overly simplistic, but it's hard to argue with the wealth of research that demonstrate its effectiveness. Look around you. Notice the obvious things to be grateful for, then turn your attention to more obscure fortunes. Number 2, get out and into nature. Researchers find that spending 120 minutes per week in nature improves our health and well-being. Consider how you can take more time to be in nature. If you live in a city, contemplate how you can integrate nature into your home with plants or window box to give the soothing effects it offers. Number 3, exercise. According to research, even little exercise, just 10 minutes is enough to lift and improve our mood. Better yet, the study also showed that the type of activity doesn't matter. So whether you walk, squat, or stretch out with some yoga moves, the choice is yours. Perform a small act of kindness. Kindness is a virtuous cycle that makes us and other people feel good. Small acts of kindness are a reminder to us and others that we are part of something greater than ourselves. Research has also shown that when we act out of generosity, our well-being and self-esteem improve. Even small acts like lifting something someone has dropped can boost our happiness. Number 5, do anything but not everything. If you can bring everything into the present moment, let it be intention. We live in a world where business is a badge of honor and overscheduling is a commonplace. Grant yourself permission to slow down. Time is our most precious resource, and considering how we want to spend it is an acceptable link to life and well lived. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It's all within you. Marcus Aurelius said that. Choose happy, choose wisely. This is the last part of the book, and then at the end of this book, it's got a bigger bibliography. Yeah, I shouldn't try that word, in the index. Happiness is what drives us. Who would want to be successful if we didn't think it would make us happy? But increasingly, I wonder if we've been channeling our energies in the wrong directions. We live on a planet with resources, and yes, we are promised an infinite amount of happiness. We're led to believe that we can have everything we ever want as long as we pursue it. If we work hard enough, happiness will be ours. This endless pursuit feeds our busy culture, causing us to constantly consume, put our planet under strain, somehow leaves us always starving for more. Choice tries to tell us something different. Choosing happiness isn't about snap decisions or judgments. It's pausing in the present, considering our options, and moving forward to the best of our current abilities. Choice, when used wisely, asks us to consider our individual and collective needs. And because choice takes the blinkers off and let us exit the happiness race, it will help us consider how we can raise each other up rather than keep each other down. We will also make the right choices, and some of us will be more constrained by other choices than others. But choice does give us a peace of mind that we did our best with the knowledge and circumstances we face at the time. So our present becomes our past become our future. We move through life reassured that we made the best choices we could have with the information we have. That can only make for a life well lived, a happy life. So guys, that is the end of our book, Choosing Joy. I hope you guys enjoyed this read as much as I did. And thank you for all the positive comments. And when I find another book, I will be back. Until then, Foxxie Stars, this is Foxxie saying good night. Have a happy and wonderful night. I will see you guys soon, because you never know what you're going to get on Foxxie and Family Channel. I love you guys. Thank you, Foxxie Stars, for being here with me. And remember to have rainbows and unicorn dreams, because like I always say, think positive, be positive. And you know my new saying, strong is the new pretty. My affirmation, you are beautiful, Foxxie Stars. Yes, you are. And Tinkerbell is real. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. Bye.